goal scoring record ever since they've joined. Liston Colasso again puts a good ball out. Mispa.
Mohun are going to do the same.
Goals and had 7 assists in the last. Ending is concerned, but taking that
to try and put Bengal.
Meanwhile, Alberto Noga goes Petratos and Thapa, Apuya, Manveer Singh, 5 India internationals. So you've given them that responsibility that they've got to manage the middle of the park. Any balls. Here's Liston. Brought down. Referee says play on. Jason Cummings. Takes a long range shot. Good shot by Liston Colasso. Oh, he's known to hit some of those long ranges. Just straight into the arms of Gurpreet Singh Sandhu.
Yeah, why not? You know, you're playing as that left-sided player in that midfield, almost wing-back like, but you can come inside, go onto your stronger right foot and hit one from range, test the keeper early. Stood up to the test so far, but it's good from them. It's a good start.
Well defended, beautifully defended. Danger still not averted. Manveer Singh, he's got a one-on-one up. It's been a good start. 3-0 winners on the...
There's no shots on goal, was impressive. It's end
with so much quality amongst their ranks at each other. Eventually, I'm guessing, kudos to Alberto Rodriguez for the way he came back and made a 5. But from Chennai and FC, spent so many years with that club down south. Now in the mecca of football, or should be Apuya, another one of those new signings.
Spend some time with him on a Zoom call. Hard work. Want their team to settle down. For us neutrals, I'd to have a little bit more spell on the ball, work some of the game and have a less open game than we've had so far in this first 15 minutes.
Yeah, we're not complaining. We're not complaining whatsoever. But from a coach's perspective, you completely understand that Manveer Singh does well to, of course, thwart him. Plays it back. Showed great amounts of control in that game versus Kerala Blasters Football Club. Looked very fluid in that quarter-final. Something coach Gerard Zaragoza mentioned in the build-up to this game. Chhetri now chasing that ball. Subhashish Bose. Good bit of combination between Thomas Aldred, Subhashish Bose, and the defense of Mohun Bagan and Super Giant. Vishal Keth unlucky to not be called up for the national team camp. Not just in that quarterfinals, but over the last couple of seasons as well, has been in and out of that national team call-up.
That Bengaluru FC midfield at the moment, you've got Suresh in the obviously the likes of Sunil Chetri will freely roam, pick up little pockets of space, roll in some balls into the box, but they've got a real fluidity, a real structure about them. They know what they're doing, they're very well organised, and you've seen it in the games leading up to this, how dominant they've been able to get over the line, either with big scores and clean sheets, but they're built from a good solid foundation.
Yeah, it's interesting that coach Gerard Zaragoza has opted to start Chhetri in this tournament. It's the first time he's starting a game in this Durand Cup. Has been the bench for the remainder of the games before this. Shiva Shakti was someone who was opted in the playing 11. But clearly their coach has gone for the experience of Chhetri, Vineet Venkatesh, another of those players who's come into the playing 11 tonight. Meanwhile, Mohun Bagan Super Giants, 6 changes from that game versus Punjab FC. And you'd have to say it's one of their strongest looking units that Jose Molina has put out at the Yuva Bharati Kridangan in Kolkata. Apuya doing what Apuya does is best. Stopping play, destroying play. And that's what he's been brought in for.
Yeah, it's a physical challenge, and Jules are at the premium in there. You've got to try and make your mark, get on that ball early, and it's the main work of a centre midfield, poor on that occasion. Pitch.
Yeah, there's another one of those new signings. Greg Stewart was one of those standout players in a couple of seasons back in the ISL, Mumbai City FC. Now with the Mohun Bagan Super Giant, he's got a... That starting 11 in their last game has been put on the bench by coach Jose Molina for tonight's encounter. Now a bit of 1-2 play between Mohun Bagan Super
Welcome
Giants.
to the music world of SS Flight.
The foreign imports for Mohun Bagan Super Giants, with obviously Tom Aldred in there, Jason Cummins, you've mentioned.
Quite the signing for Mohun Bagan Super Giant. Here, he's been brought down. He's contesting that he was brought down. His shirt was tugged.
On the last line against the defenders, he can just pick up them pockets of space, and then he's just gets the trip as the players cross over. It looks like there's been a clash of legs
From that division. Remember, this is one of the oldest 88. 17 times in the process. He's been around in this tournament, part of that team that won it in 2022 for Bengaluru FC Bengal. And slowly but surely the fans, of course, are trickling into the Yuva Bharati Kridangan. It's a stadium that's hosted more than 120,000 at a time. Seen some iconic clashes in Indian football. Jose Molina, of course, in his second stint in Indian football. Into semi-final number 2. It's the 133rd edition. Chetri giving chase to Vishal Keth. Liston Colosso with an inch-perfect cross.
That's a real clear intention, isn't it? Playing that in there on that opposite side and slide the ball in, whether it's for Bengaluru FC one side of the pitch, and then big switch.
Going to be, gets a deflection. Corner for Bengaluru FC.
Yeah, looks like we're going to get another stoppage in play now. In end-to-end stuff, not a lot of end product, but there's been a lot of transitions between.
Just spent a little too much time before taking that decision to put the ball in. Jose Molina of Mohun Bagan Super Giants, Tushi's boss, will not be continuing anymore, or will not be. Dipendu Biswas will be coming on the field now. Bengaluru.
Yeah, and a little warning sign for two men on the edge. Follow the run of the man into the box. They stay strong on the edge of the box as well, but disappointing. I think it'll be a reshuffling shape. Dipendu, I think he'll just come straight in and slot in that back three. But such a big loss to usually lose your captain so early in the game.
Yeah, it's a big night for young Dipendu Biswas. He's been a part of the Mohun Bagan Super Giant setup. Boys coming through the system and rightfully rewarded by getting. So from a coach's point of view, you're getting a best competition time to check out what your players are up to. Sahil Abdul Samad puts in a beautiful ball, just no one in at the end of it. Corner for Mohun Bagan Super Giant.
Well, Petratos and Jason Cummins there taking the throw in and linking in a wide area, so you'll be disappointed as a coach there. Look at your two strikers are the widest players, so when that ball goes in, that lovely little run and that inside pass, you haven't got anyone.
Best to win possession back for Bengaluru FC, gets the throw in regarding a player and his future in the season.
Oh, the main thing is that after he had the initial first treatment, he tried to play on Oil Duran Cup, so he will be have had that
to see how their team is faring on the field of national football. What a great servant he's been for Indian football. All the it's the 133rd edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup 2024, powered by Coal India, jointly organized by the Indian Armed Forces and the government of West Bengal. Play down the center, but whenever he's played for club, at least in the last few seasons,
Gesturing there that maybe he wanted a more angled run, so he didn't have to make the straight pass and run it out of play. Maybe it's that they're a threat with them two strike, win the ball back straight away and go forward and challenge towards goal.
challenge. We're not too happy with that decision.
Yeah, and his give thinks he's maybe simulating that, and there was absolutely nothing in it.
But number of Mohun Bagan Supergiant players there makes his way straight into the arms of Gurpreet Singh Sandhu.
Isn't it, into that danger area just inside the post, so it's one of them that you're trying to get a little flick on or try and get something across the face of goal. Keeps Bengaluru FC just on the back foot a little bit, getting in behind them. Just got to make sure that they're keep a nice high line and defend that first contact and get the...
From both sides' perspective, it's been a good watch. Things seem to have giant now, hoping to end the half well. Remember, 10 minutes of regulation time remaining. Sahal Abdul Ahmad.
The striker, or does he press the wing back on the outside shoulder? Manveer Singh, the 1-3, so I think you'll notice that in the game now, and it'll work both sides, that if the fullback presses one of the two strikers.
Now has Thomas Aldred for company.
You notice for Bengaluru FC, when that ball came in, they had
corner taken, that tackle, and now tied, but just no one in from Bengaluru FC able to...
Petresos, you can see him straight away, He's a good little link man around him of the Bengaluru.
Your player, your mate.
That water break and maybe slight...
It's a penalty to Bengaluru FC. Semi-final.
Clumsy challenge, it's what happens. We mentioned about playing with attacking wing a little bit, hanging the big...
And a ball straight away.
To slide a teammate in or take the shot from...
He is the gift that keeps on giving as far as Indian football is. Back with List. Get past the bar.
Trying to get themselves back into the game and what?
They'll have to do somewhat decided in the final on the 31st of this month. Thing and turning, that's his game. Beautiful for. Remember, you have another 45 up. 2 minutes remaining. To cut back. Finds Petratos. FC a bit of a...
Or another opportunity from another set piece, but...
Played on the 31st of this month on this very ground at the Yuva Bharati Kridangan. Intent that one for Bengaluru FC. Shots, List and Colasso, he's looked like one of those players always ready to take the Bagan Supergiant. And so this is how things started off. The lineup versus Punjab FC. Within the first 2 minutes. He had space in front of him, eventually brought down in the box. Little break, second half on the other side.
नाचती बहुत है इनकमिंग और आउटगोइंग चालू अगले साल रेट इंश्योरेंस की सुबह हो गई है मामू
Supported by the government of Meghalaya Stadium in Shillong, home side Shillong Lajong Football Club taking on North East. And we're off and in their all white kits. And Foucher, whenever brilliant, of course, combination there this time. Full cross, silencing the Nehru Stadium in Shillong.
Doesn't have a card for this. What a play. Keeper, and look at the sight from Toy Singh, simply getting in between 3-4.
Here's Nest is up.
Thinking it was perfect, but look at that, the ball was...
Crystal John in a massive game. This is a massive moment for this game. Brilliant play by Nestor in favor of time. Made no mistake the second.
Last. And that's the applaud from the coach. Well done, boy.
Danger stays United from making that 2-goal lead into a 3.
The header straight into the hands of the goalkeeper, and this foul bought inside the box.
He'll feel like he's never done anything wrong. Players, of course, not too happy with the referee creating point of view. Shillong Lejong Football Club have been brought down to 10 men. Ronnie Wilson has been sent off. Space down that left flank. Parthiv Gogoi. There are 2 players inside. Parthiv Gogoi getting the 3rd goal of the night, and surely now Northeast United have found.
And that's the pass that came in from Hamza. And shields the ball so beautifully and just places on the far corner.
There you have it, your finals, all 3 goals.
गांव वाले तुझे किस नाम से पुकारते हैं?
जोश भाई का लोचेज नहीं।
ऐसा क्या? भाई को पाइल्स भी लिखना।
Echo हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस लेते वक्त पूरा सच बताएं और इजी क्लेम्स पाएं।
हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस की सुबह हो गई मामो।
कार इंश्योरेंस रिन्यू कराना था। अरे हाँ, मिश्रा जी को फोन करो।
आजकल कोई ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट टीवी लेता है क्या?
नहीं।
मनी ऑर्डर भेजता है क्या?
ये सब तो पुरानी आते हैं।
और एको चेक किए बिना कार इंश्योरेंस रिन्यू कराना?
नहीं आदत डाल लो। कार इंश्योरेंस हो लेना तो एको चेक कर लेना।
And the government of West Bengal, and what a 45 minutes we've witnessed at the Yuva Bharati Kridangan. It's the first half that was played out in the second semi-final between Bengaluru FC and Mohun Bagan Supergiant. Bengaluru FC taken a 1. But slowly but surely, the numbers have started filling in at the Yuva Bharati Kridangan, all in support of the defending champions. Quite a fight back after conceding that goal, ending that first half, the last 5-7 minutes of that first half on a very big high. And Coach Jose Molina would be, of course, using those 15 minutes of the lemon break to spur on his boys. He's got the likes on the bench as well, so expect both teams to make a number of changes. Perspective. Already one forced change for Mohun Bagan Supergiant. They lost their captain early on in that first half. Subhashish Bose had to come off, and in his place came young Dipendu Biswas. But it's all been about Mohun Bagan Supergiant and the attack that they're leading with up. Jason Cummings as well, and of course you've got that 5-man midfield, all India internationals turning out for Mohun Bagan Supergiants. In the second as well from the green and maroon, Apuyas looked tidy. Liston Colasso has had his moments. It's been a decent half from a Mohun Bagan Supergiant perspective. That means much of that responsibility dropping into that 5 in midfield, those 5 India internationals. But what assists already to his name? Jorge Pereira Diaz, we haven't seen too much of him in the first. Good showing from the Blues of Bengal.
Yeah, Bengaluru FC numbers, the 2 strikers that you've mentioned, and Manveer Singh, Liston on that left-hand side as well. Provide that Bengaluru side, though, they've got such quality, technical, proficient players in midfield. Probably want to see Pedro Capo get on the ball. He's had only 16 touches of the ball so far in the game. Needs to have a little bit more influence, but I do really think we're set up for an absolute cracker, because I think a 1-goal slender lead in a semi-final is dangerous for both teams.
It's 45 minutes keeping both these teams away from sealing a spot, of course, and a date with Northeast United come the 31st of this month, contesting for that beautiful trophy of the Indian Oil Durand Cup. It's the second semi-final, coming to you from Bagan Supergiant. Bengaluru FC, 2 teams that have vied for top honours in the last 10 years of Indian football, are at it once again. The first half, of course, started at the start of that first half. Remains to be time in this competition. So if both the teams are level at the end of 90 minutes, it goes straight into penalties. 2 saves from Vishal Keth in that penalty shootout, thereby effectively sealing their spot in the semi. Him and Thapa, of course. And while Andy, we saw a lot of Petratos towards the end of that first half, dropping deep, getting onto the ball, effective play. Not so much from Jason Cummings so far.
Really high traditionally, and they look to get it up to him when they recycle the ball. Just looks like maybe a slight positional change for Bengaluru. A little bit deeper. He had most touches of the ball for Bengaluru FC in that first half. But just like they're very fluid in who's going to be that focal point.
Yeah, you saw a glimpse of Greg Stewart there warming up. Their new signing from Mumbai City FC. What an effective signing he's been. What an impact he's had in Indian football, Scottish football. He comes in with huge pedigree, part of that Rangers squad as well. Him and Pereira Diaz, when turning out from Mumbai City FC, had 25 goal contributions. Meanwhile, cross put in from that right flank. Roshan gives it back to Suresh Singh Wangjan. Puts in that cross. Shot taken first time by Vaneeth Venkatesh. Just unable to keep it on target.
They play. And Vaneeth, he's been really impressive for me. I think he's got loads of energy, drifts inside and can receive the ball. He's all really well. Such a difficult ball to take, driven in at speed, at knee height, but just unfortunately leaning slightly back, just can't get over the ball. But a warning sign again for Mohun Bagan Supergiants.
Yeah, they started the second half just like they started that first half. Alberto Nogueira within the first 2 minutes had that chance from on top of the box as well. A bit of argy-bargy now between Jason Cummings and Roshan. Players getting involved straight away. Referee coming in the middle of it as well. 90 minutes. Both players not shy, of course, from putting in a tackle. That's the beauty.
You've got to manage your emotions. That's one thing you need to do. You can't give themselves an opportunity. As you can see, locking horns there, head to head. A little bit of afters. Referee will dive in and hopefully get control. Neither side can afford to lose the cool, lose the temperament, get emotion.
Yeah, he's looking a little frustrated as Jason Cummings. Hasn't had the best of innings from a Mohun Bagan Supergiant perspective. Hasn't been that effective on the ball. And sometimes that frustration creeps into nothing but
ball. But it's just that come from that moment. Mohun Bagan organised. They didn't get back in to get the offside with the touch came from, but
2 goals in either half. One coming from Sunil Chhetri in the 43rd minute, and then Vaneeth Venkatesh getting their second of the night in the 51st. Trying to find Petratos, goes down. Loud cheer asking for that. Goes on. It's only changes as well. You've got someone like Stewart who's had a good number of seasons in him as far as Indian football is.
yeah, it seemed to be very little. Great bit of play. Just did mention Pedro Capo there to say that he's had little influence with his leadership there, going over to the young fullback Roshan and just tell him to keep his head in the game, keep cool, keep organised. And if you're a player, and I love the way he's embracing his young fullback and getting the best out of him.
Yeah, both those players involved in that bit of a frustration, of course, from both those players. And just coming, both have been shown a yellow card by the referee. Play goes on now. Anirudh Thapa, 2 goals now. 2 beat Mumbai City FC in the final, in that they're less than 40 minutes away from sealing their spot in the final of this edition of the Durand Cup. Brief stoppage in play. 2 substitutions will take effect. Now those 2 substitutions are going to take place. In Ashish. #21, Alberto Rodriguez. Ashish Rai is well known to be in the center of the pitch alongside Rodriguez for Mohun Bagan Supergiant, but it's the other end of the pitch where they're things moving along. It's down, and a large part of that responsibility will be on the left foot. He's had a good game. quickly need to affect. 56 minutes in. In that first half, Vineeth Venkatesh, the young player, just getting it a while back for Vineeth Venkatesh, who had nothing but the open net in front of him to double the lead for Bengaluru FC. On Thapa plays it out wide to Liston Colasso, has space in front of him. Nikhil Pujari just about does enough. Corner for Mohun Bagan Supergiant.
And straight away with them width that they have. The width that they cross, they've obviously got the 1v1 into the wide area, and then unbelievably, and it looks like the collisions come at a heavy cost for Bengaluru FC. As you watch it come back at it on target, gives a chance for Bengaluru FC just to settle down a little bit, slow the game down.
First half for captain Subhashish Bose, jumping high above everyone else in that last corner taken by Mohun Bagan Supergiant. It's been something you've seen in this entire game. Those set pieces, as soon as you get them, don't waste too much time on it. Quick to take those set pieces from a Mohun Bagan Supergiant perspective. It's worked for them on a couple of occasions. Here comes Anirudh Thapa now. Back to Rodriguez. Greg Stewart now gets his first few touches in this game. Straight away you can see the eagerness to get involved, wants to affect something. Is one of those players that can of course unlock the tightest of defenses. Straight away finds Liston Colasso down the left flank. Here's Peth trying to make a run to get at the end of that cross. And on come Mohun Bagan Supergiant. There's a bit of life at the Yuva Bharati Kridangan. The supporters seem to have found a voice again. Played out to Manveer Singh now. And good bit of play by the Indian international.
But you'd have to say that one thing they need to avoid is just to drop deeper and deeper and be a bit negative in the play and be a bit passive into that mid-block. Good Bengaluru FC side is aggressive, pressing well, trying to get on that ball as we see the changes made. They've lost the way a little bit since that second goal, and you'd have to say Mohun Bagan Supergiants with the change that they've made and
he's done his job. Opened the scoring for Bengaluru FC, getting his 6th goal versus Mohun Bagan Supergiant. In his place now comes young Shivaldo Singh, who started the last game. And clearly you can see he's trying to refresh off that kick, and Greg Stewart had nothing but the empty net in front of him.
Oh, incredible, isn't it? Just building up from the back. We've seen it time and time again, week in, week out with football. It can obviously cause teams problems. And if you want anyone in that team from 6 disappointed with himself and not being able to get that on target, that was the lifeline that they needed. That was the lifeline that they wanted when the substitution was made. And I cannot believe that he's not been able to direct that onto goal.
Don't think even he can understand how he missed from that close range. Nonetheless, Mohun Bagan Supergiant keep on threatening now. Bouncing on that, of course. Greg Stewart not happy. Referee says nothing doing. Seems like he has a good game.
Yeah, I don't think it's for that. I think it's for a foul earlier up in the build-up, but there's nothing going on here. And obviously goes out for the goal kick, but they've got to decide what they're doing now, Bengaluru FC. Why build up from the back when there's such pressure on them and make the mistake? Might be an opportunity to squeeze up and in and play a little bit more direct and just try.
Meanwhile, Gurpreet Singh Sandhu has been shown a yellow card for time wasting by the referee. So it's all happening here at the Durand Cup. 2 goals coming in either half. Mohun Bagan Supergiant have definitely had their chances. Hit the woodwork on 2 occasions in the first half. And then Greg Stewart missing from 6 yards out with his head. Ashish Rai now finds Jason Cummings. Seem to have a bit of... Ashish Rai asking for that ball back, gets it back by Cummings, puts it in, finds... Petratos puts the ball in. All the big lobs it high, tries to find Petratos. Apuya on to Stewart. Stewart finds Ashish Rai, puts that ball in, finds Cummins, unable to control it with that first touch. The Giant keep on coming at them. Here comes Liston. It's been a good bit of play from Mohun Bagan Supergiant. It's been a good spell for the Kolkata team. The only thing missing is Liston. Here's in front of him. Numbers behind, of course, for Bengaluru FC. Remember, winners in the 2022 edition of the Durand Cup. Now Liston puts in a good ball. There's a good ball. Manveer Singh is there. Gurpreet Singh Sandhu just about doing enough.
To come out and try and get a hand on that just to make sure that he can redirect it. I think there's going to be further balls coming in for him to deal with as well later stage of these games with the attacking play Mohun Bagan Supergiants have.
For the remainder of this 25 minutes, and you said it right, Andy, that the only worry from a Bengaluru FC perspective is that you don't want them to sit too deep in this game. Remember, 25 minutes is still a long team with this quality like Mohun Bagan Supergiant possesses. Eventually, it's about finding that opening, that one goal that could then, of course, change. Back to Liston. Greg Stewart makes a run for that. Ably defended as well. They've looked confident, they've looked mature at the back for Bengaluru FC.
They have, haven't they? They've started to just drop down a little bit deeper now and causing a few issues. You'd say Mohun Bagan Supergiants are the team that are in the ascendancy at the moment, but they've just got to be careful. One more mistake for them and the game's over.
We can get confirmation that in a while from now, 2 more changes. Referee replaces penalty for Mohun. Bengaluru FC not happy with that decision whatsoever. Applause coming in from the Mohun Bagan Supergiant dugout. Handed a lifeline to come back in the...
Spotted either straight away by the referee to what's happened. We've had an opportunity for 2-1 just a few moments ago, but this is a bigger one now. These are big moments in the game. Get yourself back in it. You're in the ascendancy, 2-1 with all the momentum.
Petratos, of course, will be given the responsibility to bring that goal. UFC, 2 changes being affected by coach Gerard Zaragoza. Meanwhile, Fanai, of course, coming in for Alberto Nogueira. Halicharan Nasri coming in for Vineet. Attack from a Bengaluru FC perspective. He knows Mohun Bagan Supergiant are going to be coming at them, left behind by Mohun Bagan Supergiant. He's had a good game. Vineet Venkatesh got the second goal for Bengaluru FC. Halicharan Nasri, another of those players coming in. Meanwhile, at the other end now, the owner of Supergiants, Dimitrios Petratos. But in front of him is, of course, the Indian national team keeper. He makes no whatsoever. Dimitri Petratos in the 69th minute of the Mariners are charging. They're cheering in full force for the Mohun Bagan Supergiant faithful.
Executed his plan, didn't change his mind, straight down the middle. Takes guts to do that, knowing that.
Yeah, you get the feeling we're in for a grandstand finish now. Manveer Singh at the end of that cross again. 25 minutes remaining of this regulation time, and you don't want to go anywhere. Stop whatever it is that you're doing, because you're going to see 25 minutes of some end-to-end football on the line. Whoever, since he's come into the game, Andy, has made a positive impact.
On the ball lots, made lots of passes, got into the final third. He's put passes in throughout the game and got his reward with the goal. But yeah, they've looked at change tide.
Meanwhile, another yellow card has been dished out. This one to Rahul Bheke of Bengaluru FC. So the cards are coming out thick and fast. Substitutions have been made as well. Remember, a total of 4 changes in that attack line. The new players on the pitch. Mohun Bagan Supergiant, meanwhile, on the ascent. Dimitri Petratos, he's got a good scoring record versus Bengaluru FC. That goal from the spot, his 5th versus Bengaluru FC. It's the first goal in the Durand Cup. Surprisingly, first goal. Not yet done. Beautiful ball put in again. Petratos there at the end of it.
Bengaluru FC, they've taken off some of the bigger hitters. It's changed their mentality. They're a lot more vulnerable. There's a lot more holes in the side. They're retreating back to their own goal very quick. As you can see, a lot of the players gesturing just to calm things down, slow things down, try and take the momentum out of the game.
Captain to shore up the defense, not else, but also, of course, gives you that option in Nazari. A host of India internationals out on the field. 2 teams who are going to be vying for top honours in whichever competition they play. Taken there, header taken by Mendes, but equally well put out of play by Mohun Bagan Supergiant.
Touch on, really instinctive save. Vishal Kaif, brilliant, straight up as well, ready to get the second ball. Impressive stop, you'd have to say. Immediately, Bengaluru FC there to put the game out of sight.
Less than 20 minutes remaining of regulation time. This game is amped up as far as levels are concerned. Rodriguez there, getting a bit of Holly Nazari and the ball in the process. Bit of spice as well in this game. You saw a while back Cummings and Roshan. No one attacking at that ball. It was a delicious ball put in by Liston.
The action of the players in the box said it all, because there was no one to blame but the run off the back of the defender, the deepest defender in there. Liston.
They have moved up a few gears now. Mohun Bagan Supergiant. Anil Thapa now dropping deep. Abuya and Liston Colasso, as always, has had acres. Falls back to him. Here's Thapa. Petratos dropping deep as he always does. Biswas. It's been a good game of football to watch. Cup competition. A 2-0 lead. Within the 55th minute of this game, 2 goals coming in from Sunil Chhetri and Vineet Venkatesh. But then, and as things stand, 15 minutes of regulation time remaining. Ashish Rai on that occasion again. The left flank of both for Mohun Bagan Supergiant. Colasso or Ashish Rai up front. Mohun Bagan Supergiant will just keep on knocking on that door.
Higher up the pitch, they need to squeeze the back line up and in. Wide areas and get the balls in, whether it's with Ashish Rai or Liston Colasso on that side. They've got to defend them areas better, but for me, they've got to stop it at source. You've got to put pressure on the ball early and a bit more to try and get the ball higher up the pitch. So I'd expect more of the same over the next period now, next 20 minutes or 15 minutes plus added time. But Mohun Bagan Supergiants, they're onto something. They can sniff a chance to get themselves back in this game. They've had the opportunity. A Bengaluru FC side who really want to see this game out. They've just got to make sure they're not too negative.
Place is Chinglin Sana Singh. 15 minutes of the game, and make sure you make it into the final of the competition. Bengaluru successful on that occasion now. Mendes yet again.
It's 5 or 7 minutes trying to get on the ball and link play and get things forward.
Still has another change up his sleeve. Does the game as Apuya will be playing no further part in this game. Big money signing from Mumbai City. the 133rd edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup, a tournament that started way back in 1888. That final will be played out of the outside of his foot, just not enough in it.
At a moment.
They've been in this position before. Mohun Bagan 2-1, making regulation time remaining. Ashish Rai puts in a bounce on that delivery.
Keep believing they've got to keep getting the ball into Bangladesh into this semi-final. Numerous clean sheets as well, and stage when it matters most.
To Alberto Rodriguez. On to Ashish Rai now. Roshan Singh, he's had a good game for Bengaluru FC. Eventually that ball
defends his box really well. Checks his shoulder first.
worthy that can be it.
For having themselves into the game.
By Anirudh Thapa, and owning in this half the game. On to Petratos now. It's one of the body that it made its way past. Because if the game remains at 2 apiece, we're going into penalty shootouts.
Them head coaches on the sideline and a lot of the big penalty takers, players. 3.5 minutes to go plus additional time.
The distance at which it was, and to bring your team leveling on terms. Goal number 3. Greg Stewart this time.
Mendes is up in the box on his own. Puts 4 bodies around in the box. And Greg Stewart on the edge of the box with a shooting chance as well. So one team really pushing for it, the other just hanging on after being so dominant in the game as well and looking like they were home and hose and ready to go.
Singh in front of him for company, tries to put the ball in. A number of Bengaluru FC Lasso or Jason Cummings is something Bengaluru FC need to be very aware. Remember, it was Northeast United that got the better of Shillong Lajol. And while Bengaluru FC have had their moments, Supergiant and Bengaluru FC both were 2-2.
Just to defend.
You've got to laud, of course, their enthusiasm and their Singh brought down in the box Dimitri Anirudh. Jason Cummings make 3 as well. Inches, 2 saves, apologies. Mendes heads it back. Mohun Bagan Supergiant as far as the Durand Cup is. 17-time winners of this. The other end, Holicharan Nazri gets a corner, asking for that corner, not happy with that decision from the linesman.
Just think of both teams short of energy and ideas and just maybe thinking towards, it looks like with such
from it. Number 2 of this game is going in
dominance at one stage from a Bengaluru FC side that were, say, clear eyes, putting your hands up, who wants to take them penalties, putting your penalty you can.
Taking those penalties for you, which means now you've got Sana, Fanai, Holicharan Nazri, Mendes. Punjab FC in the quarter-final before this. In much better fashion than the green and maroon. Rightfully 2-0 winners, or rather 2-0 lead in the 55th minute. But then after that, it was all Mohun. Sidelines. It's a game of nerves now. It's a test of nerves now. Who joins Northeast United in the final? And Rahul Bheke to decide who takes that first kick. Lots of people have different ways of going for it. You send your best players in front to give you that deserved.
Always think get your best takers on first because you never know how long the penalty shootout's going to go to in terms of the big moment. So try and get one up, get your lead, and you've got something to hold on to and give your keepers.
I'm guessing they're talking about really well. I've been around Indian football for a long time. Talking to both the goalkeepers. There's a spot in the final. A spot to earn another silverware. The 5 designated penalty kickers. Cummings. Knows a thing or two. Of this penalty shootout.
Controlled start, not trying to blast it into the
Port is Mendes. Understandably, UFC in front of him, a man versus Vishal Keth. One apiece in this penalty shootout.
He actually went the side that he predicted, but a well-worked penalty. First contact was into that side.
It's the second penalty, Mohun Bagan Supergiant. Whatsoever, 2-1 to Mohun Bagan Supergiant. Manveer Singh buries it from the spot.
Some power right into the roof of the net. Absolutely no chance. Brilliant strike right into the roof of the net. Puts them 2-1 up, obviously, with Bengaluru FC with 1 to play. Higher from that hand that he's just trailing up to try and see if he can get a touch as well. But
his own list and Kalat. Record for Mohun Bagan Supergiant so far.
Yeah, he's a player full of confidence, isn't he? Absolutely.
On comes Pedro Capo. We're going to get that third penalty for Bengaluru FC. Has put out an impressive.
Yeah, he's been a leader on the pitch. He's been set a good example. Next one that comes their way.
Here comes Petratos. Already got another good penalty for Mohun Bagan Supergiant.
Game, as you said, Joseph for Bengaluru.
Experience is concerned, Holly Charan Nazri has been around Indian football. Misses it! He misses it! Vishal Keth makes yet another save for Mohun Bagan Station once again.
From the last round.
Greg Stewart now. If he in front of him, Gurpreet Singh Sandhu. Watson is right, keeping Bengaluru FC in the contest.
Almost seemed to wait to make the decision of the goal, but it's such a good save.
Game of his. And now comes Jovanovic. He misses it again. He misses it again. Vishal Keth, the hero, yet again. The second save on a penalty shootout, ensuring that Mohun Bagan Supergiant FC missing from the spot. Jose Molina's teams continues their journey in the Durand Cup. The defending champion
had the ascendancy in the game, that had all the momentum, but it's Mohun Bagan Supergiants who want to celebrate another major tournament trophy final. He'll be ready, and they'll be there ready for the next round, ready to go toe-to.
Vishal Keth rightfully embraced there by Greg Stewart. Right hand, just about doing enough. Strong right hand, getting the second save for his side in this. What a star this man is. He's been around Indian football for a long time, scoring one of the goals in the tournament with 5 minutes remaining in this game, making sure the game went. These penalty shootouts, he's a special player. Special